streams right quick, do a couple of live streams. You know, something was very interesting about the Tank Davis fight, which I always find these situations interesting, you know, but it's neither here or there because at the end of the day, um, Tank Davis got the knockout. That was his intentions. At the end of the day, Tank got the knockout, so mission is complete. So, for the most part. But one thing I do want to talk about, I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person, and I call it right down the middle. But I want to make something clear. When I do these videos, do these streams, I'm not making a video because I want a particular group to like me and big me up and yeah, 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 yeah. Nah, that ain't me, but I am an honest person. Now, after the fight was over, they tallied up the judges' scorecards, and all all three of the judges had Tank ahead by a wide margin, which um, I have to disagree with that. So at the end of the day, I'm glad Tank got the stoppage, but to me, uh, Tank, to me, I thought was behind on the cards. But the knockdowns got him back in the fight. I Going into the 11th round, um I may have had it I may have had it 7, maybe 7-4 for Mario Barrios, or I may have had it 6-4 and 1 even, which if Tank would have dominated the 12th round, he probably could have still won the fight or at least got a draw. But I had Tank, to me, I thought Tank was behind on the scorecards in most people's eyes. Even Floyd told him that he thought he was losing the fight. And Tank, he did turned it up. Like I said before, I think Tank had trouble adjusting to Mario Barrios' height because keep in mind, Tank had been fighting guys that big. But at the end of the day, Tank was able to catch Mario Barrios. But nobody's giving Tank credit for his victory, and we all know why that is. And like I said, I'm gonna keep making these videos calling uh people out. Like I said before, it disgusts me and it pisses me off. And this is why I don't want a lot of these clowns coming on my channel, but I have zero tolerance for those type of guys anyway. They know if they come on my channel talking that stupid stuff, I'm gonna get rid of them quick. But me myself, I have to be honest, I did think Tank was behind on the cards. You know. Now the first round, pretty much nothing happened in the first round. So um it was just a filling out process. But if you look at rounds 2 to 6, more than likely you would have to go with Mario Barrios. He just was a little bit more active. He was using his jab. Um, he was using his jab. He was keeping Tank at bay for the most part. But then after the 6th round, you started to see Tank start to have periods of the fight where he was pouring it on. And Tank was landing some big shots and they was seeming to bother Mario Barrios. And then of course Tank, he dropped them like in the twice. And with Tank, once you see Tank land those type of punches, you pretty much know that more than likely he's gonna finish the guy. Tank is a good finisher. And then um Mario Barrios, you can make an argument that he came back and won the ninth. Then the 10th, it was looking like, Tank was starting to, impose his will. And then the 11th, well, you know what happened. So, like I said before, I thought Tank was behind on the course, but I thought the knockdowns, the two knockdowns, got him back in the fight. Then in the 11th round, I think um, I think even if Mario Barrios somehow, some way would have survived the 11th round, I think Tank would have stopped him in the 12th. Um, so I think Tank did what he needed to do. Most people believe that he would stop Mario Barrios. The fight went the fight went how I thought it would go for the most part. I thought Tank would struggle with Mario Barrios' size, his height, but I felt the Tank's power would be the difference, and it was the difference. Now, um, I'm gonna break down Tank in a separate video because I mean, is it a foregone conclusion that Tank is gonna stay at 140? I think Tank can bounce around. I think Tank can bounce around from in between 135 and 140. Floyd has talked about he may eventually move Tank up to 147. Now, as far as Tank fighting at 147, Tank he don't even have to worry about 147 for right now. Tank is at least a good 2 3 years away from 147. If I was Tank, I would consider moving back down to 135. But there's some big fights for Tank at there's some big fights for Tank in between 130, 135, and 140. So there's some fights for him at there's some fights for him in between 130 and 140 and some solid money. So really it come down to Tank, it come down to him being disciplined, it come down to Tank staying out of trouble and just focusing on boxing. That's a real good fight. But look, man, I'm just gonna keep it 100. There won't be a Tank versus Shakur Stevenson fight. Not as long as Shakur Stevenson is on, the mythical other side of the street. Um, they're just not gonna. Floyd is not gonna do no business with Bob Arum. So we might as well not even worry about that kind of stuff. That's a fantasy fight. Um, we all know what's going on. Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, they're not gonna make those type of fights. Whether they believe Tank can win them or not, they're not gonna put no money in Bob Arum's pocket. They'll talk about it. They'll say, "Oh yeah, they already dismissed the idea of Tank fighting somebody like Josh Taylor." You heard what Leonard Ellaby said. He said Josh Taylor don't really bring nothing to the table. He don't bring no money to the table. So it ain't even no use bringing up those kind of fights. If you see what's going on with Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, we already know that fight is not gonna more than likely happen. So we just got to tell the truth. I'm not finna sit up here and say that would be a great fight. Yeah, it would be a great fight, but that fight is not gonna get made. I'm not finna do like what these other dudes do, sit up here and just perpetrate a fraud and try to say, "Oh, it could happen." Man, that fight is not gonna happen. Tank versus Shakur Stevenson is not gonna happen. Not as long as Shakur Stevenson is with Top Rank. And then Floyd got a little thing with Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson got a little thing with Floyd Mayweather. Keep in mind, Floyd Mayweather was supposed to sign Shakur Stevenson, and basically Shakur Stevenson said Floyd dragged his feet, and he said basically he ended up at Top Rank. He said he was waiting for Floyd to make a move, and Floyd did not sign him. Once again, Tank versus Tank versus Devin Haney. Yeah, that'll be a great fight. Um, Bill would be willing to make that fight, but like I said, once again, you got to ask Eddie Hearn. You got to ask the promoter. And from my knowledge, that I don't think Devin's leaving uh, Matchroom. So you know, so I'm just telling the truth. So I wouldn't even make plans to talk about a potential Tank versus Devin Haney fight or Tank versus Shakur Stevenson, because more than likely those fights are not going to happen. I would love for those fights to happen. Who wouldn't want to see those type of fights? But at the end of the day, we all know what's going on. None of these dudes want to give the fans what they want. We should be getting fights like Harrison Lubin and Jason Rosario on a regular basis. Now, due to the fact that they happen to both be PBC fighters, it benefited us, the fans. But what if Jason Rosario was signed to Top Rank, or he was signed to Golden Boy, or was he signed to Matchroom? Well, we had got that fight. That's the problem. We can't seem to get these type of fights unless these dudes are attached or aligned with the same promotional company or the same TV programming, which is the PBC. And believe me, I hate it. Can't stand it. I can't stand what's going on. A lot. Well, that's true to a certain extent. That's true. Um, a lot of those PBC dudes, what they do is they throw up Al Heyman's name. Well, call Al Heyman and all this kind of stuff. To be honest with you, Al Heyman's name is mentioned too much. Like I said before, um, we already know that Bud versus Errol Spence is not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So to me, it's no use for Errol Spence to have some fake call out when he more than likely defeats Manny Pacquiao. If he gets past Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to see it. I hope he doesn't do it, because we all know Bud came to that. Well, for those who, I mean, they didn't report it. Most of these PBC apologist media, they didn't report it, but Bud came to Dallas to try to confront Errol Spence. Errol Spence wouldn't let Bud in the ring, so you know, I don't respect that. So if Errol Spence try to pull one of his fake call outs of Bud, I'm just telling y'all right now, it's all cap. The fight is not going to happen. They already know that the fight is not going to happen. It's just it's just grandstanding. And like I said, I'm just one of the very few people that tell the truth. And like I said, I done made a lot of enemies because people wanted me to follow a script, and they mad because I won't suck up to the PBC. So I'm just telling you right now what Errol Spence is gonna do. If he defeats Manny Pacquiao, he gonna do a fake call out of Bud, and then everybody gonna run to their YouTube channel saying, "Oh, Errol Spence calls out Terrence Crawford after 3 years," and then he already know the fight is not going to happen. But you gonna have people that's gonna run to their YouTube channels trying to say, "See, I told you," and then what they gonna try to do is try to put this all on. Y'all already know what's going on, and like I said, people just mad at me because I won't follow their script. And some people behind the scenes, they not talking to me, which I don't care. I'm letting you know right now, I don't care if you don't speak to me. So I'm just, and then you got people talking stuff about me behind my back. It's like Trinidad James. They talk, stuff behind your back, but they won't say it in public. You know, so I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. But like I said, I mess with Errol Spence. I'm going to the fight, so I will be at Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao at the worst arena probably in the country, which is the T-Mobile Arena. I didn't bought my, I didn't bought tickets. I got plane tickets, hotel room, all that stuff. So I will be there. So everything is taken care of. So I will be covering. Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. I get in Friday morning from Oakland, so I'll be there, and I'll be there in time to catch the weigh in and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna apply for media credential or none of that stuff. So, but at the end of the day, you know me, I've been doing this for a minute. I'll get my interviews if I choose to. So I'm just saying, but that's the plan. Errol Spence, after he more than likely defeats Manny Pacquiao, he either going what he gonna do is the plan is gonna say he gonna try to make a fight with Bud. They gonna give Bud a low ball offer that they know Bud is gonna turn down, and then they gonna say, "Well, see, we tried to make the fight," and then Errol Spence is gonna move up to 154. Now, my thing is, they always talking about the other side of the street. Okay, so here go the thing. I'm laughing, right? They talking about that Boots Ennis should try to see could he get a fight with Bud. Well, why don't he fight Errol Spence? They on the same side of the street. So that's funny. And the PBC apologists, they love to try to put together those type of fights, but then they 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 talked about crossing that side of the street. They want Ennis to fight Bud, but then they don't want Spence to fight him, and they on the same side of the street. Now there is a rumor this fight coming up with Bud in October could be his last fight with Top Rank. So we don't know. Bomac, he kind of like a dude. He'll throw something at you, and just to see what you gonna say, and then something totally opposite will happen. So I'm just playing this whole thing by ear. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just playing the whole thing by ear. So you know oh, I never expected nobody. I mean, that's cool if you didn't take sides. I never took sides with Bud and Aerosmith. I just wanted the damn fight to happen. But like I said, when I started seeing how they was moving behind the scenes, how the PBC was moving behind the scenes, I started to like kind of feel kind of funny about the situation. And like I said, I could have reported more exposing the PBC, but I didn't. And then what you have is you have these PBC extremists that may listen to one person, one or two or three people that's just extremely pro PBC and pro Al Heyman, to where they mind will get diluted, and then they'll come to a channel like mine who's tried to be objective and fair, talking a bunch of stupid stuff. So that's just some of the stuff that I go through. But at the end of the day, I don't run from nobody. I don't shut down the comment section. Everybody is welcome to comment on my channel, whether they agree with me or not. As I said before, just keep it respectful. You know, One thing you ain't gonna do, you ain't gonna come on my channel disrespecting me. So, like I said, I followed this whole Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford thing very closely. Like I said, once I seen what they did in December when they wouldn't allow Bud to get in the ring, that showed me all I needed to know, that the PBC and they ain't really trying to make this fight. It's all cap, and a lot of these dudes is just mad about it because I'm telling the truth. Like I said, they just mad because I won't follow their script, and I keep telling you, nobody runs my channel. I don't ask nobody permission to do no type of videos. I don't work for nobody. I don't ask no permission to, hey man, is it okay if I'm making whatever I say is coming out of my mouth? Like I said, a lot of these dudes want you to follow a script, and like I said, I'm not following nobody's script. I like I said yesterday, um, I enjoyed the Tank fight, but I thought Tank was behind on the scorecards. But I thought that the knockdowns got him back in the fight. I think all he would have needed is a good 12th round, and um basically he was dominating the 11th round. So, you know, I think if Tank would have knocked Mario Barrios down a couple of times in the 12th, which I think he would have, I think Tank was going to stop him regardless. So, At the end of the day, I have an issue with the scorecards, but you know, I'm not saying it because I'm worried about or I'm trying to impress the Hispanic audience and stuff, but I'm just telling the truth. I thought Tank was behind. Hey, Floyd even told him. Oh, and shout out to little baby, man. Shout out to little baby, man. You know, shout out to little baby. Good ring entrance, good ring walk. You know what I'm saying? Little baby, I will say this much about him. He got skills. I don't like everything that he put out though, but I will say this much about little baby. He do got skills on the mic. Hey, and it was kind of funny. I'm sitting up here watching him. I thought his jewelry game was on point. Appreciate that. Hey, I thought his jewelry game was on point, and it was kind of funny. Then you see Floyd in the ring, so it was kind of funny that Floyd, I guess he thought he had to outdo do little baby because Floyd had easily a few tickets on his neck, and I think little baby had like at least a meal on his neck, but I think Floyd had the rose gold. He had looked like he had the platinum, and he had the white gold, and he had the regular gold. So so I'm gonna tell y'all right now though. I'm gonna go to my jeweler. Um, I'm gonna go to my jeweler. Um, Probably in a couple of weeks because I'm gonna have to. Because when I go to Spence Pacquiao, I'm gonna have to bust out with the. Hey, Lamonte, I'm gonna have to bust out with the bling, man. I'm gonna have to go to Highline Jewelry, man, in Hayward, California, man. I'm gonna have to bust out something, man. I'm gonna have to. I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to bust out something, man, because I'm gonna have to go. Y'all seen me at the Bud Crawford fight where I had the drip on, so now I'm gonna have to go to my jeweler. I'm gonna have to go get me something. I ain't got Floyd money though, but I'm gonna have to bust out with something nice. So I'm gonna have to be blinging at the Errol Spence fight. I was. Hey man, I'm keeping. Hey man, I'm keeping it 100, man. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, you know, I was like, oh man, I was blinking at I was blinking at the Devin Haney fight. I like to mix it up because I'm kind of light skinned and stuff, so I look funny in gold, so I wear a lot of white gold. I wear white gold, I wear silver, so I mix them together. So I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm gonna bring out probably the white gold chain, or maybe see can I go buy me a, decent platinum chain. So yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break it. I'm gonna have to break it out for the Spence fight. I'm gonna do something different for that fight too. I got some things coming up. How I'm gonna cover that fight. I'm gonna do something special. Well, they don't really make rope chains no more. Um, I like they mostly do the links now. I got one small like rope chain. It's white gold. I bought it from Highline Jewelry. So, they don't really make ropes like that no more. Like and if they do, you gotta kinda like, you gotta special request them, and they cost money to get made. Who in Concord? I'm a I'm gonna stop by Hotline today, so hey, y'all gonna help pay for the chain. That's why I appreciate y'all like being on these streams and stuff. So like I said, y'all kind of help finance. Well, y'all play a big part in financing me going to these fights and stuff, the views, the super chats and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I appreciate y'all, because like I said, I take the money and I put it back into the channel. So you guys are helping me go to to these fights and travel and all that stuff. So you guys are paying for the operation. So keep tapping in, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate the support. That's just real talk. But be back in a few minutes. About to talk about Tank being a draw. So be back in like 20 minutes.